I'm hoping to keep this lesson a little short, so let's jump right into it. Today we're adding, subtracting, and multiplying polynomials. We will not be dividing polynomials today. That's a whole other thing, and we're going to do it later. As far as adding polynomials together, the only real thing to keep in mind is that you combine the like terms. They're only like terms if they have the same variable raised to the same power. So even if 4x squared and negative 4x both have x's, since this one is x squared and this one is just x, not like terms. When you subtract, first you take the negative sign, distribute it all the way through. It's actually a -1. So multiply using the distributive property, and then you're going to add, which means combine like terms. Just don't forget to distribute to the right. When you're multiplying, we're going to use the same algorithm as we do for big numbers, so I'll show it to you, but it should be familiar. The only real difference between multiplying polynomials and multiplying numbers is because we don't know what x is, we can't carry like the 10. X isn't 10, so we can't carry our tens, so we just end up with big numbers in their columns rather than carrying the extra digits. So I have 6 examples, and really that's it. I mean, the rules are as simple as I've just stated. It's just a matter of applying them. So some textbooks recommend that when you add, use vertical form, which works fine for me. I'll show it to you. I don't normally bother, but if you have trouble keeping track of all of your little pieces, all of your terms, then by all means. Vertical form involves taking one of the polynomials and writing it underneath the other one. Just make sure when you're writing in vertical form that you line up the ones that are like terms. So this is 4x cubed. The one that goes with that is -5x cubed. So I'll write it right underneath. -2x squared goes under the 4x squared. -4x under the 3x, and -4 goes under the 10. And then it's just a matter of adding. So -4x cubed, positive 4x cubed and -5x cubed is -x cubed. 4x squared minus 2x squared is positive 2x squared. -3x and -4x makes -7x, and 10 minus 4 is 6. So there it is. Typically speaking, I don't bother writing in vertical form. You can, if that helps you, you absolutely should. But I don't have trouble picking out the like terms. So as long as they're written in standard form, it's actually even easier because you can start on the lefts, find the like terms, add them together. 2x cubed and 3x cubed is not 6, 5x cubed. Then 2x squared and -4x squared, that's -2x squared. -3x and -1x makes -4x. And of course, 5 minus 7 is -2. If there are terms missing, it's okay. You just write down the one that's the correct power and don't worry about it. If there was no -4x squared here, that would be fine. It's just 2x squared. All right, there's adding. Subtracting just has the one extra step. We have to make sure we distribute the negative sign. Really what we're doing is instead of subtracting, we're adding the opposite. So we're going to add -3x cubed, -4x squared, -7x, and -12. Oh, those are all positive. If one of those were negative, which we'll see in our next example, we switch them to positive instead. Well, I could have written those underneath, and then I would, well, all right, I'll rewrite this anyway. -4x cubed and 6x squared and 9x minus 3. So -4x cubed goes with -3x squared to make -7x cubed. Sorry, I think I said squared, I meant cubed. 6x squared and -4x squared is 2x squared. 9 minus 7, that's positive 2x, and -15. -3 plus -12. So they're subtracting. When we, subtracting again. Sorry, that's little, I wrote those parentheses too close together. But that's a subtraction problem. So I'm going to distribute the negative sign. You could subtract, but I find if I try to subtract like terms, halfway through, I just get, it's just more steps in my brain. It's too much to keep track sometimes, and I'll forget that I'm subtracting and I'll add. Or like when you're subtracting a negative, it can be a whole thing. So I'm gonna just change all the signs. Although, like I said, if you really prefer subtracting, you can get away with it. I find it's more work. So then 6x cubed and -3y cubed is 3y squared. -6y and 4y is -2y. -13 and -7 is -20. As far as multiplying polynomials together, The trick is to do it like big numbers. You can just make sure you multiply each of these terms by each of these terms, or vice versa. You can multiply, distribute the 2x, distribute the 3, and then add everything together. But I find it's much easier to lose track of pieces that way. And this is complicated enough that I'm just more comfortable using vertical format because I spent so much time multiplying large numbers together this way that it just kind of comes naturally. So you take the 3 and you're going to multiply it all the way through. So 3 times 5 is 15. 3 times 3x is 9x. 3 times 3x squared is 9x squared. Remember, don't carry the 1 or anything. So 3 times 5 is 15. It just stays here. Now when I move over to the 2x and multiply it through, I'm going to leave a space just like I would for numbers. Or you can put in a 0 if that makes you happier. The most important thing, though, 2x times 5, is this is going to be 10x. Make sure you line it up with its like terms. So it goes in the x column. Then 2x times 3x is 6x squared. So that goes in the x squared column. 2x times 3x squared, I need an x cubed column. So that goes over there. And then you just add the columns, 6x cubed and 15x squared and 19x and 15. So you can see these ones are work. That's how polynomials tend to work out. There may be several steps to it, but you're using algorithms that are a lot like happen with just regular numbers. So x squared minus 2x minus 3 times x minus 5. Again, I like vertical form. So negative 5 times 3, that's negative 15. Positive 10x and 5x squared. Then when I multiply x, I get 3x, negative 2x squared, and x cubed. So that's x cubed minus 2x squared plus 13x minus 15. So if you remember multiplying big numbers together, you're good to go. If not, well, I just showed you how to do it. Just, multiply each one through all the way and then add the columns. That's really it. So short lesson today, but I'm sure your homework will take you some time because polynomials have a lot of terms to add and subtract and multiply. So good luck.